And I began to search. And that's when God began to make a move on my life.
See, that culture is strong, you know, and so I think a lot of Jewish people are fearful that they're going to lose that culture.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I...
Hello and welcome to ATN Highlights. I am Tyson Moody. I am so glad to be with you today, and as you can see, I have some special individuals to my right and to my left, and we will be taking the time and getting to know them today. These are fourth form students that will soon be graduating from Canaan High School. If anyone doesn't know the studio, we are right here as well. And so I'm so glad that they volunteered to be with us today for this episode. Okay, this is ATN Highlights, and so just before I begin to ask them various questions that will be about their experiences here at Canaan High School, I would like to have them to introduce themselves to you today. And so we'll start over here to my right, and then we'll come all the way around.
Okay. Hello, my name is Sardasson and I am in For Science.
My name is Jaden Stin and I am from For Science.
My name is Susanna Savita and I am in For Business.
Hi, my name is Giselle Alvarado and I am in For Science.
My name is Rowan Pori and I'm in For Science.
Great, thank you guys for accepting the invitation to be here. Do you all feel nervous?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, so do I. All right, but that just shows that we're
I don't feel
human.
nervous.
All right, so Canaan High School is a Christian school. More specifically, it is a Seventh-day Adventist high school, okay? So it is for that denomination. So let's get right into it, okay? My first question would be, why did you decide to come here and attend this high school? Was it something that it was your personal decisions? Or was it something that your parents just simply said, well, you need to go to Canaan High School, I like that school, so that's where you will be going?
Well, Canaan wasn't my first option, but since my dad graduated from Canaan, he decided to send me here.
Okay, you were okay with
I
that?
was okay with it.
Okay.
For me, my dad said he wanted me to go to Canaan, so I am here.
Okay, so more your parents' decision than yours.
Yes.
Since being here, you were here for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, all the years?
Yes, for
So
all the years.
have you liked it?
Yes.
All right, let's go to Susanna.
Well, to be honest, Canaan wasn't my first option, right? I wanted to go to ACC because it would have been an advantage to my parents because my little sister goes to James Scarborough. And it's like neighborhood, to ACC, like a couple walk. And because of my religion, my dad chose Canaan to be my high school.
All right, awesome. Okay, next, Jaden. Start. It could be anyone.
I'll go. Okay, for me, I had only two options, EP York and Canaan, because EP York was the one that I've always wanted to go, but I don't know. I just want to go because like most of my friends need to go. But then because of my religion, my mom chose Canaan and I was okay with it. So I'm here.
All right.
For me, I had two options, Nazarene High School or Canaan, but they decided to put me in Canaan because we're closer to my grandma.
Nothing wrong with that. Thank you guys. And as I've said already, Canaan is a Christian school, so at times you guys activities that focus on spirituality, faith, and growth. And recently there was a week of prayer program that happened Monday to Friday, just a week or two ago. And so I want to talk about that a little bit and hear how you found it. Did you enjoy it? What did you like the most about it? Who would like to go first?
What I enjoyed was the songs being played and some of the preaching. Really love the song though.
Yes.
Can you talk about what was one of the, I guess, messages or sermons that you remember that you liked?
Well, focusing, I remember one of the lessons were focusing. I really took that one. Although I still have problem doing it, but I really take that one.
All right. Anyone else?
During this week of prayer that we went through, of course, as Christians, we normally have like where we feel down at times, and I felt uplifted and motivated about my religion, and it helped me to strengthen my religion with God.
Right. Who else would like to share?
To me, it kind of opened a door for me. I really want to get into religion.
Okay, so before the week of prayer, would you say your belief in God wasn't very strong?
Yeah, I mean, consider it, but kind of make I understand more.
I gotcha. All right. So I would like to share something before we move on.
I need to think.
You need to think. All right. That's all right. That's all right. Right. I know some of you did as well participate in the program. Maybe you went up with the some group. Maybe some one of our viewers saw one of these students when they was being live streamed. Yeah, I think you went up there, Susanna, as well as you saw it. But it was a nice experience, right? Is what you guys are saying. You appreciate it. All right, so you are fourth farm students, and graduation is coming up, I guess, around the end of May, right? Or sometimes May, or somewhere in May or June. How are you guys feeling about
Excited.
graduation, and then also about leaving Canaan? Excited, stars.
Nervous. Excited.
Why nervous?
Because I really want to go out there and experience different things, but at the same time, I want to be with my friends.
Yeah.
And you don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
I don't know what to expect. Well, I think it might be nervous because like the new experience level. And it also be new because you have to socialize it and interact with different people. Yes. Well, might be more
Mature.
like have a more open. I don't know if it's
More exposure, greater worldview, you know, and maybe even more mature, right? Because it all depends on the type of experiences we have had, right? And rolling what you said is true, you know, you are going into a new environment, there will be a new individual, some of them you may become friends with, and some of your friends who are in your class now may not be going to the same school that you will be going to. Would any one of you be going to seek employment, a job, work for a little bit, or all of you would be going straight into?
I'm going into the work.
I was planning to do both.
yes.
Yeah, because the college I'm going to is Wesley Night Division, and during the day I will be it's a plan. I want to work during the day so I can to help out my family.
Okay, so you want to help out in paying with your
Yes, sir.
tuition and paying your way through school.
Yes.
While still going to school.
Sounds like a good plan.
Well, for me, my mom doesn't want me to work. She want to put me straight into sixth form. So I don't have no choice, but I cannot go with it because I don't want to work. I'm not ready for work yet, but soon when I get more mature and I don't know.
I kind of want some work experience so I could at least get something out of it.
Yeah.
There are both pros and cons to it, you know, and I'll share this with you. Once you start working and then you start earning a salary and then you can come home and you don't have to worry about homework or projects.
Yes.
It feels good. It feels good, right? And some people, they never go back to school, right? So my encouragement to you would be to, you know, continue with your education, especially as the world is changing, the demand for a higher degree is there more and more.
Yes.
All right, but anyone wants to share anything else before we move on about graduation and feeling nervous and excited? All right, good then. We're doing good. Okay. let me ask this then. In terms of the future, what are some of your personal goals? I guess an easier way to put it is, what type of career do you guys want to pursue? After you finish with school, what do you want to be? What are you going to study?
I want to study nursing.
Will you be a nurse here in Belize, or you want to go overseas and work?
I don't know what happened, but I know I'm still in Belize.
Okay, so when you get there, right, you'll cross that bridge when you get there. All right, thanks. How about you, Jaden?
I have a lot of options. I want to be, I don't want to be a dentist or a mechanic, or I want to deal with computers.
Okay, so you have 3 good options there. Nice. Susanna, what do you have to share with us?
Right now, I only have one career in mind, and it's being an accountant.
Okay.
At first, it wasn't mine because I wanted to be an English teacher because of how well I did in English. But after times in high school, I managed to see where I have a strong point in, and so I choose to follow through with accounting and become either an accountant or an accounting teacher.
Oh, nice. All right. Let's go to my left with Giselle and then Roland.
Okay, well, for me, I want to be a civil engineer.
Okay.
Yes.
I know a few civil engineers. As a matter of fact, I started out in architecture, right? And I've been blessed to actually design 2 houses. So it's a very interesting field. I just wasn't, I got bored easily just being behind 4 walls and behind a computer. And so I changed careers, but it's not about me, it's about you guys. So let's go to Roland.
Actually, I wanted to be an architectural engineer. I really want to be one.
So maybe you guys can be good partners in the business, right? Relationship.
My second option was being a tattoo artist.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I can draw. I really like seeing tattoos, so I really want to do that as well.
I gotcha. All right, we're doing good so far. And if you have joined us for the first time, do consider liking this stream, giving us a subscription, and then sharing a link as well, as we're interviewing today these wonderful students here from Canaan High School. Okay, let's move on to another question, all right? Do you feel with what you've learned from Canaan that you are prepared for the real world? In other words, it's a Christian school. You've learned certain values and things to help you strengthen your faith and to be somebody that's respectful and whatnot. And you've also gotten the academic teachings through your subjects, right? Do you feel you're prepared for the real world when you leave Canaan? If you should go out there and work and, go to school, you're prepared for what is ahead?
I know a few things that to keep in mind to just help me to make it there.
Gotcha. All right. Anyone else want to share?
I mean, like she said, not fully prepared, but more than likely kind of ready.
Getting there. Sure. One more person, if
I feel like spiritually, yes, I'm prepared to go out there, but the rest, not there yet. So.
Okay, you still feel a little not too sure about that. Right, and there are a lot of distractions, in the world, and as Roland had mentioned about new friends, not everyone you will come across in your new endeavor, you go to school or to work, will have the same values or the same beliefs that you have or that you were taught and got while being here at Canaan High School, right? But you'll also be able to make more decisions for yourselves because you guys are getting older. You'll be becoming young adults soon. I assume all of you are somewhere between the ages of 16 and 17. Right, so you're getting there to that stage where still a teenager, but more going towards early adulthood in a few years, and you'll have to make more decisions for yourselves. Okay, we still have about 5 more minutes before we go to our break, so let's get a little bit more personal now. We want to hear from you and your other experiences here at Canaan High School. So let me ask this question for each of you. I want to hear from each of you. What has been your most memorable moment from your time here at Canaan High School? Whether it was in first farm, second, third, or fourth, but what was the most memorable moment? It can be something that made you laugh until you cried, or something that you will always remember as you leave Canaan.
The trip.
What trip is that?
Going to St. Herman's.
Yeah, just recently.
Oh, it was a recent
Yeah,
trip.
yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that was the best
Yeah.
because we had a lot of fun. It was very pressuring and fun at the same time.
Okay. You said St.
Herman's.
Herman's. Where's that?
I think located in Cayo. No, Belmopan.
Was it a farm,
Cayo, Belmopan.
reserve?
A reserve, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Actually cheap too, you could go swim there.
No, it's a resort. Okay. And your parents went along with you? Or the family
No,
members? Oh, just the fourth farm. Okay, I got you.
No, just it.
It was an entire
Yeah.
school, but they made it
Educational.
Okay, nice. I haven't heard about the place yet. I have to look that up. You guys give me a place I need to go to now, because if you enjoyed it, then
Best
definitely
place,
I will
cheap.
enjoy it.
Only 2 bills.
Only two.
water
Maybe they
is
gave you the
nice.
student discount.
The water is nice. It's
Oh,
like mountain river. It's like the natural river from the
Okay.
mountain. It's very
So
nice.
it could be maybe the natural springs, and All right. Giselle, you wanted to share. Go ahead.
For me, it's the sports days, the sports we have.
Okay, so do you have a favorite sports then? Or you just prefer to be a spectator and watch everybody
No,
else get
I
sweaty?
play football, volleyball, sometimes basketball.
Nice. Anybody else like those sports?
For me,
Volleyball.
yeah.
Go ahead,
When
Jaden.
we have sports day, the Marian Jones, or at school too.
Okay, and I think the sports day is coming up on Thursday, this week, Thursday,
Yes, it's Thursday.
for you guys.
I didn't really enjoy sports day. That just me. That's just me because I have my own personal things why I don't like the sun, the noise. And I realized that I need to get myself into more sports because I want to learn to play volleyball.
Okay.
Something that really got my attention. So
Nice.
I like to play basketball.
That's your favorite sports, huh? All right. Anybody else wants to share a memorable moment?
Sorry. My memorable moment throughout all my years of high school, it would be spending time with my friends because after we graduate, we won't be together as how we are right now. So I try to cherish those moments a lot, even though some of us have our mishaps often and some of us have loose screws, but
Do you mean like you argue? Or ever fight with anybody?
I've had a couple fights with one of my friends.
Real fists?
No,
Pulling
not
out
fights,
like that?
not fights, but
Arguments, no?
yeah, and we solved it. Yeah.
Took a
Yeah,
while.
that's how relationships
Took a while,
are,
but-
right? How friendships are. Nice. Anybody else want to add anything before we go to one more question and then we'll go for a break? A memorable moment.
I think, like what she said with friends, I don't know hang around the same crowd no more, but in third form, I think I really enjoyed it with my friends. But then I realized, like in fourth, those friends just weren't meant for me. So
Nice.
I mean, when we
So
make
things
plans
Mhm.
without anybody know nothing, we make plans and then all of a sudden, bam, we just do it.
Gotcha. All right, so let me go to this next question, and I would like to hear from each of you. Favorite subject and favorite teacher. Sorry, teachers, I may make you jealous, or they may make you jealous, because I'm just asking the question, so don't hold it against me. All right, so favorite subject and favorite teacher. It can be any one of the forms you were in, not just or only fourth form. Let's start with Giselle.
Well, for me, I would say I have 2 favorite teachers. So one of them is Mr. Baptist, the Bible
Yeah.
teacher.
Okay.
That's my favorite subject too. And biology and Mr. Quinteros.
Okay. Yes. Who else would like to go?
Actually, I have 3. There's Mr. Baptist, the Bible teacher, his son, Mr. Eric,
Okay, when he was here.
and the biology teacher.
Mr.
Quinteros.
Quinteros. All right, let's go to my right now. We start with Suzanne and we go around.
Okay. My favorite subject, as I mentioned before, it was accounting, POA. And I have two favorite teachers. One, of course, is Mr. Baptist, or Bible teacher.
Wow, Mr. Baptist seems to be Mr. Popular.
I have a reason why he is my favorite teacher.
The father, right? You're talking about.
Yes, sir. Mr. Wilbert Baptist. He has been like a father figure to me, and throughout my years, I have had a hard time like maturing, and with his help, I managed to find that maturity. It hasn't reached its full ability as yet, but it's there. And the second one would be Mr. Salam. He is my accounting teacher. He is fun, right? Because he knows when it's time to teach and when it's time to have fun in class. So yeah.
Sounds like you guys have good teachers. Jaden and then Star.
For me, I have a lot of favorite teachers.
Right. You think you can narrow it down to two of them?
No, I can't.
Go ahead, list them off.
Mr. Wilbert Baptist, his son, Miss Pastor Eric, Mr. Quinteros, and
Jesse.
yeah, Mr. Jesse.
Okay,
What
does Mr. Jesse teach?
Mr. Jesse, English.
And
English
he
teacher.
teach other subjects in general too, and business.
Okay. Is he one of your favorite teachers?
Yes, because I don't know. I feel like he's just very understanding. He, like if they have a conflict between two people, he will like try to understand two sides,
two perspectives
before he decide what he will do. And I really like that. And what else? Oh, Mr. Eric Baptist, because I like him because he understandable too, and he patient.
Okay.
And his father.
Mr. Jesse, I have to give it up to he too.
Yes,
He actually
Mr. Jesse,
fun.
yes.
Yeah, he fun too.
He actually fun, and when
Funny.
when I have to be serious, he actually
He is serious,
serious.
yes.
And he actually give we good reasons as well. Like if we don't want to discuss with somebody, I feel like you could discuss with he and Mr. Wilbert Baptist. He as well. Feel like if you come today, if you have something you want to do and you go today to talk to, they will come after you, clean and help you out.
You know, for all of your answers and what you've shared, I've noticed something. You've mentioned all your male teachers. All of you have mentioned male teachers. I don't think anybody mentioned one of the female teachers. Well, no, of course you do. But I'm talking about your favorite teachers, right?
One in the past that was Miss Lynn.
Yeah.
Our English, not only Miss Lynn, Miss
Christine?
Abigail.
Oh, Miss Abigail.
Abigail, the science teacher.
Yes, Miss
I think
Abigail.
she's the reason
like
I went into science.
But big up to the male teachers, yeah? You guys are doing a good job.
Oh
Keep
yes,
it up.
and in our first, Mr. Sima, I mean like
Mr.
him.
Sima, yes.
I love him.
Next school year go quick just like that.
Yes. And actually fun to, next one to where, to be serious, he's serious. When it's fun, it's fun.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for sharing your answers. Okay, we must go to the break right now, but please stay tuned. We will be back with you shortly.
In the heart of America stands the Inter-American Division. It is comprised of all of Central America, the northern parts of South America, and the islands of the Caribbean Sea. What a great diversity fills each corner of this region. Flora, fauna, culture. The strength of our church in this territory is its 3,681,066 members filled with faith, hope, and courage. Our doors are always open. Meeting in 23,319 churches and congregations, large, small, outdoors, or online. It's amazing to know that God is present in each one of them. The Inter-American Division is comprised of 24 unions, divided into 156 local conferences. We spread the message through various means, including the 35 hospitals and clinics across the territory. In its 14 universities, many young people are trained daily to serve God in different professional fields. One theological seminar prepares pastors to serve the church membership and preach the gospel across Inter-America. This is a territory with millions of school-aged children. 790 primary and secondary schools deliver Adventist Christian education to 145,596 students through the dedicated labor of 9,879 teachers committed to serving God and humanity. 9 centers of influence work with creative ideas of evangelism to target various people groups. The gospel also travels by air and the internet. Messages of hope are shared 24/7 through television programs produced in 3 languages and through broadcast by more than 90 radio stations. The Inter-American Division is this and more. Every day, our church works to preach the gospel to more than 307 million residents across its territory.
According to the Center for Disease Control, men die on average 5 years earlier than women. While women are expected to live an average of 81 years at birth, men are expected to live an average of 76 years, with non-Hispanic blacks having the lowest life expectancy at nearly 71 years compared to white and Hispanic males. That's a fact, but there's hope. One of the factors contributing to worse health in men is the higher prevalence of cigarette smoking among males than among females at any age. By quitting the habit, males can reduce their chances of dying from any cause and experience a longer and happier life. So don't delay, quit today.
You might be asking, who are Seventh-day Adventists? Commonly known as Adventists, we are a Christian movement established in 1863. We have 28 fundamental beliefs and more than 20 million members. We also observe the seventh-day Sabbath. Worldwide, we have more than 162,000 congregations. We serve countless communities with our education institutions, with 2 million students. And 198 hospitals around the world. And it's all because we love Jesus.
Welcome back everyone to this episode of ATN Highlights. I am here today with these wonderful students, fourth form students from Canaan High School, and we were getting to know them a little bit better and about their experiences here at school, and even asking them questions about their faith and their favorite teachers and so on and so forth. We're going to continue with some more questions, but if you are joining us for the first time, you know what to do. Give us a like if you're on Facebook, or consider giving us a subscription if you're on our YouTube channel. But of course, do share the link so that others can see this program and they can also benefit from it. Okay, so I have these 5 students with me, and I'll just like to introduce them to you all again. Starting from our right, we have Star, Jaden, Susanna, and to my left, Giselle and Rolling. Okay, these are fourth form students. Some are in science and some are in business. All right, nobody in general study. I don't remember.
No.
All right. Okay then. Right, so the last question we did before break was favorite teacher. Did we touch upon favorite subject?
Yes. Well, I think
Kinda. Right? We spoke more about the teacher. So let's start with that. Any favorite subject that you've had? Can be from any one of the forms since you've been here.
Biology.
Yeah.
Biology. Yeah, I'd say biology.
What specifically do you like about biology?
Like drawing parts of a plant.
diagram.
Yeah, doing diagrams, 3D model. I like all of those.
On the labs, we used to get labs in third, but we don't really get labs again for biology.
Anyone else? You have a favorite subject?
For me, Bible.
Oh yes, I think you did mention
I
that,
did
right? And
say
Mr. Wilbert Baptist was your favorite teacher. How about you, Susanna?
Accounting and Bible. Bible is like my second favorite.
Gotcha. And Jaden?
To me, I like chemistry, physics, biology, and IT.
Okay, so you're more science and the technical side
Yes, sir.
of things. All right, nice, good. Okay, let's move on then. Let's see. A favorite Bible verse, right? Because many of you said Mr. Wilbert you really like, and you like the Bible class, and I'm sure he mentioned, and you guys did a lot of Bible verses. So let's start favorite Bible verses, and then share briefly why. Who would like to go first?
One from primary school, actually. From primary school, they gave us this verse, Philippians 4:13. I think everyone should know it.
I hope so.
But I really like that one, cause like
And what does it say?
Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I feel like it is true. It is. You just have to have faith.
Awesome. Okay, who would like to go next? I want to hear from each of you.
I personally have a lot, but the one that I can remember is Romans 8:18. This one stick to me because it says that the sufferings that you're going through now doesn't compare to the joy that is coming. And it just reminds me that anything that I'm going through that troubles me, I just have to keep in mind that this won't last forever and that joy is coming.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Well, my one is Psalm 73:26, and it says, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever."
No, nice.
Yes, that reminds me of like I may fail, but God never will fail.
Gotcha.
Fail me, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, we have Jaden and then Susanna.
Mine's Philippians 4:13.
Okay, so same as Roland.
You gonna say that, Susanna?
Sure.
Well, that's okay. It's your favorite Bible verse. No worries at all.
I really like that one because I grew up with it. So we just practice that every day.
Okay.
And I remember it in my head.
Oh, did you guys go to the same primary school? Okay. Go ahead, Susanna.
Okay, same as Roland and Jaden one. My one is Philippians 4:13. It wasn't my favorite verse, but I can't remember my first favorite verse. But that one stood out to me because I went through my own problems, right? And I felt that I didn't have nobody. And it was wrong of me to think that because I grew up knowing I had somebody, even though nobody had my back. And when I was sad, I would normally read that verse and it would always change my mindset, how I think about my situation. And I would just, you know what? God got this and I got this. And we would work together to solve this problem.
I hear you. Wow, thank you. And speaking about problems or challenges, let me bring a question regarding that. We have been talking about, I guess, just pleasant things so far, right? From your experiences at this high school. Now, for you individually, right? I'd like to also hear from each of you, if you don't mind. For each of you individually, were there ever any challenges that you came across that, or some problem, maybe in some subject, it was hard, maybe you were failing at first, but then somehow you applied yourself, study harder and overcome, or, were there any challenges that you faced being here at Canaan High School?
I'd say focusing was a major problem.
When you mean focusing, like focusing on getting your work done and making sure you're studying?
Yes. It still is, but not as before. I've loosened up a little bit and start focusing more. But I feel like that was a major problem.
Okay, and could I ask Roland a follow-up question to what you just said? why do you think you had a challenge focusing?
I guess because I was more interested in what other people are doing instead of what I rather do. I think that was a big reason.
Gotcha. Thanks for sharing. All right, who'd like to go next?
I also had the same problem from when I was younger. From primary school, I've always had this problem of focusing to the listening to the teacher. Focusing on what I need to get done and ignoring the distractions. And I still have that problem, but that's what I am praying for.
Yeah, right. And when you say distraction, have you ever, or any of you, right? You're in class, that you said the teacher is talking, struggle to focus. Maybe you're thinking about your favorite song or some movie you saw and you like that scene and whatnot. Right? It does happen, right? I mean, I face that challenge being at church. And sometimes it's so annoying, like a song that I'm not even thinking about that I heard way back when I was 7 or 8 years old, and it just stays there. And it's so annoying, right? Is that just me or everybody?
Sometimes like,
go ahead.
At a draw when they would teach, I think I'd get distracted with drawing.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, let's go.
I separate my pens over there, my books one side, my different chair, and I have nothing for my desk and just watch straight forward, like, okay, my full attention here.
Not me. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, all right. How about you, Giselle, and then Jaden? Something that was a challenge for you.
For me, asking for help. I was really shy.
So you mean
still shy.
help, like in a subject maybe you're
Yes.
struggling to understand, and
Yes, I would rather do it by myself.
all right. And for you, Jaden?
To me, I feel like fitting in, like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm different from everybody else.
Okay.
It's better to be different than the same.
Right. And sometimes that is the case, that we feel we become self-conscious, you know? Maybe because, well, I'm not as tall as the other person, or maybe as popular as them, or that one has a lot of friends, and there are other reasons, right? But we do become self-conscious at times, right? So it was fitting in for you. And was this something you felt was challenging for you all your years here at Canaan? It was just all the years?
All the years.
Okay. But I see these guys, I see you often talking with them and whatnot. You seem to fit quite well in with them. You don't feel so?
Best friend. That's my best friend.
Okay.
From school.
So Rolling has your back, if anything.
Any day.
That's great. That's great. Did I miss anybody? Everybody shared?
Susanna?
Yeah, Star did share. All right, because
I'm more so that going through the same thing as what he went through. Because when I'm young, I'm always live by myself most of the time, and it's hard for me to make friends. But my mom always told me that I shouldn't worry about other people. I should just focus on myself. And you don't need anyone. You got yourself. At the end of the day, it's only up to you to make things right, and I don't know.
make the right decision and right, choose wisely. All right, and I'd like to move on then. Talk about challenges at the school. How about with your faith in your spiritual life? Have you come across anything that really made you wonder, like, man, is God real? What was the challenge for you for your faith in your Christianity?
A lot. Like, I'd say I remember one time I was like, is he really real? Because they were preaching, right? They were preaching on it, but at the same time it made me think, like, is this actually true? Do they actually have proof? What if they're faking the proof or anything?
And anyone else had similar feelings or opinion as Roy?
What was the question again?
Right, in terms of your faith, right? We talk about challenges at school. How about any challenges as it relates to your faith?
Challenges. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't like it.
Right, anyone else want to share? Right, at any time while you were here at Canaan, like you question anything about your faith, or or you had a problem and you needed somebody to pray for you? And tough question, huh? All right. Maybe I can come back to it. All right. Let's change gears a little bit. What would you say to someone who may be not sure about coming to Canaan High School? They've heard about Canaan High School. They may be watching this interview. Maybe it's a parent that has a child and they're like, should I send my child to Canaan High School? What would you say to them to convince them that yes, send your child to Canaan High School?
I'd say go for it. Go for it if you're a fun person. I think to make the school fun, it's the students, not the teachers or the principal. I think it's the students that make the school fun.
Anyone wants to share, add on to what Roland has said?
I think you should send them if
you want the child to
be more religious.
not really like draw more closer to God then. Like hear about I'm thinking like I feel like if you hear about God every day, the child draw more closer to Him.
Right. And just to add to what you said, Star, being religious and being drawn closer to God, they're actually two different things, because I can be going to church or a Christian school, but I am there at the service with my own intentions, right? It's not about wanting to know more about God or drawing closer to God, right? And people can be religious, but we say they're not spiritual. Right? And that happened even in the Bible times, where many people, they knew about God, but they didn't know God personally for themselves. Okay. But thank you for sharing. Let me hear from somebody else. Did you face any spiritual challenge, or your faith was challenged at any point, any time while you were here at Canaan? Oh, sorry, we're talking about sending the child to Canaan High School. Excuse me. I lost track of the question, even though I have the paper in front of us. Okay, Susanna, why would you tell someone to send their child to Canaan High School?
I would say it would be a wonderful experience because at different schools, most kids get in trouble for fighting, right? And our school, we rarely have fights. It's mostly that people get along like family in their classrooms. It's not all about bickering and saying, oh, you're from this side of the street or this side. Everyone just gets along, even if they have their differences and where they come from.
And that's even with the teachers as well?
Yes, sir.
You guys get along. So it's safe to say that here at this school, you guys feel a sense of connection, belonging, and family, and safety, right? Security. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Time is going quickly before we need to wrap things up. Let me go back and talk a bit about graduation, but from the sense of you have third form students who will be going into fourth form next year. So as a student, fourth form student who will be graduating shortly and moving on from Canaan, what would be one piece of advice that each of you would give to a third form student coming into fourth form the next academic year? Maybe they are coming into your business or science, but what would be one piece of advice you would give? Do they need to be aware of a certain teacher? Don't get on her bad side or something like that. But, just throwing out some ideas, right? So what would be one piece of advice that you would give to those third form students who will be going into fourth form?
My advice would be to ask help.
Yes.
Just don't feel as if though you're on your own, because when the work gets hard and you're failing, then you'll feel overwhelmed and said, oh well, I'll just repeat. But I would suggest that you ask for help, right? Because even though we are afraid to ask for help, we should still ask for help. It can help someone and it can help us too.
Yes. I feel like one thing they should consider is not waiting until the last minute to do their work. Because a lot of us struggle with that, and we have to tighten up.
I think that one thing with all of we,
Yes, because like at the end, like right now, the time is
So
going
little.
fast.
Yeah.
It's going
It is.
so
And you guys, they still have CXCs?
Yes. Athlete and 60.
No, but most of them
Athlete.
take 60.
Yeah.
yes.
I think only 2 people from the class that take CXC.
2 for each class.
But you basically have maybe 2.5 months more because we're already near the end
Yes.
here of March. Okay, but we're rolling. You were saying, go ahead.
I'd say to stay focused. That's one main thing I always keep with me, to stay focused. Because getting off track and then trying to get back on would be very tough. So I feel like staying focused throughout the whole semester, throughout the whole year would be the best they could do.
Go ahead.
Forget my answer.
Right, so the question is one piece of advice that you would give to a third form student that's going into fourth form.
I just want to say that like students should focus on think about what their actions might cause. Well, yeah.
Consequences.
Know the consequences. Like think about what you will do before you make a decision or before it happens. Yeah.
For an action, there will always be a reaction. That's what my father always tells me.
I think there's I don't know if it's a law of physics. Every action have an equal and opposite reaction.
Think
Right?
about like before you want to do something stupid, like cause a fight or something. Think about what will happen in the end. What will happen if you end up doing the wrong thing?
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, keep to yourself.
All right. You mentioned about doing something stupid, so I must ask. I must ask, and this will be the last question. Have you ever done anything stupid that caused you to later laugh at yourself? Right? Or cause others to laugh at you?
A lot.
A lot of times. Okay, let's hear some. Let's hear some. Not too embarrassing, right? But something that, yeah, you say, well, that was stupid, but it made you laugh at yourself later on or made somebody else laugh.
I had pretty small mistakes. Like I left my shirt in the bathroom with my $50, and when I came back, it was gone.
Oh my, you're out $50.
Oh yes, you're rich that day.
But I had more too, but I can't really remember the rest.
All right, who else like to share? We have about 2 minutes left, and then we finish.
I remember one time, I think it was with our past friend that was here. He's not here no more, but I think we were playing in class. And we had certain games that we loved to play. Can't mention, but they had this one time where I had a water bag. Right, it was empty, and we were in class, and I blew it up. I tied it, and I was tempted to burst it in class, so I did, and they sent me out of the class.
Okay. Was it for the whole day or?
No, only for the session.
Just for that rest class subject, right? All right. Okay. Could we get maybe one more? You're quiet yourself. But anybody who hasn't shared, if you would like to share.
That's extremely embarrassing. I have one.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we don't want. We keep that to ourselves. Then, any of you have a nickname?
Nicknames? Second day, Shanier was telling me, it's okay, because it was like,
The lollipop?
For me, it was avocado.
Avocado?
That's my last name.
Oh, because you're Alvarado.
Yes.
So they call you avocado.
Yes.
Okay.
And they just always look at me funny because my head kind of big.
Okay. Well, that's the opinion of someone, right? All right. Well, guys, if anybody else doesn't want to share before we wrap up.
Mine is Susie Sheep because of my nickname from Susanna. Susie.
Susie Sheep.
Yes, sir.
I just started thinking about that last night. I don't know why. Because it's your.
Oh, yeah,
And the nickname Jaden. You've been quiet.
They call me Jay.
They call you Jay.
One teacher though we have a name for me, Mr. Chuck, or my teacher. He calls me Mr. Power.
Power to the people.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Roller boy.
I've had a blast interviewing you and hearing from you and learning about you. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. Our time is up, and we'd like to thank you, our viewers, for joining in. We look forward to our next episode. I don't know yet who will be the next guest, but I promise you that it will be interesting. So thank you to Star, Jaden, Susanna, Giselle, and Roland for being here. I hope I can have you guys at some point again in the future. Maybe not for ATN Highlights, but maybe on another program, but who knows. But thank you so much again. All right, and thank you, and God bless you. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Jesus said, "And this gospel shall be preached to all the world, and then the end shall come." Here at ATN, we consider it a wonderful privilege to provide you, our viewers, with wholesome programs to enrich and bless your souls. However, all of this is only possible because of your generous donations. We pause at this moment to ask you for your financial support to continue this great work entrusted to us by God. If you would like to become one of our monthly donors, please call us at 613-9351 or email us at atnfin@cbm.belizeunion.org. We sincerely thank you for your commitment, and may the Lord richly bless and keep you.
Keep following Christ and spend time in His wonderful big book of nature. We'll see you later.
It's time to access this week's Nature Spotlight to see a nature submission that one of you has turned in. Looks like today's Nature Spotlights are pictures sent to us by Leah, location Ontario, Canada. Broken branches remind us that when things in our lives seem hopeless, there are still many of God's blessings that we can remember and enjoy. Thank you, God, because you can make any broken situation into something grand. And thanks, Leah, for sending this in. I encourage you to get out there and notice God's nature, the big and the small that God has designed especially for you. So grab a grown-up and go explore. Don't forget to take a picture, record a video, or make a drawing of something you find in God's wonderful nature and send it to us at nature@startingwithjesus.com. I can't wait to see it.
Do you have a favorite Bible verse? Maybe it's really hard to choose, and believe me, it's hard for me to choose too. But ever since I was a little girl, I do have a favorite, and it's in today's lesson. In fact, it may or may not be the memory verse. Before I share that with you, let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so very much for loving us. Thank you for sending your Holy Spirit to be with us right now. We just invite Him in. Thank you for the stories in your word and how we can apply them to our lives. In your name we pray, amen. Well, the story today is about Jacob, and the story today has my favorite Bible verse, like I said, Genesis 28:15. And we're just going to start there, and then we'll jump into the story. Genesis 28:15 says, "Behold, I am with you, and I will keep you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you." Wow, that is, well, just makes me happy to know that God is with me, and He's with you all the time. Now, into the story. We left off last week's story with people having a lot of different emotions. Kind of an unhappy start to a story we have going on here. Jacob felt bad because he had deceived his father. He had tricked him into giving him the birthright blessing. So he felt unforgivable and horrible and almost unlovable at this point by God and by his family. Esau was straight up angry. He was so mad, and he was not sorry about the situation, and he was very, very, very upset. He wasn't sorry in that he didn't want to change who he was, but he was really angry at the situation. Rebecca felt guilty. This whole plan had kind of been her little brainchild, and not a good one. And she felt very sorry for what she had done. And Isaac, you can imagine, felt really disappointed because it hadn't happened the way that he had envisioned, right? So Rebecca came up with a new plan. Thankfully, this one was a little better, and it was to protect her favorite, Jacob. So he decided to send Jacob to her hometown to find a godly wife. Now that was her cover story, right? Really, she just wanted to get Jacob away from his brother Esau so that Esau wouldn't hurt Jacob because he was that angry. But a godly wife was definitely a plus. And it was just the ticket that she needed to convince Isaac that it was a great idea. And so, since she was, remember, the daughter of Laban, she sent Jacob back to her brother, not the daughter of Laban, sorry, the sister of Laban. She sent back to Laban. She sent Jacob back to Laban. And Esau stayed there. He found some wives of his own, which is not God's plan, and they worshipped idols, sadly, and so life was not going so well for him. Jacob, in the meantime, was lonely and afraid, and he had to make that long trip that Eliezer had made, right, all the way back across the desert by himself. And quickly and quietly he left. Once again, feeling like, could God forgive him? Could God love him? And with those thoughts passing through his brain, he lay down. And it was in a desert, so he had to use a stone as a pillow. That's when God gave him a very special dream. In that dream, there was a ladder. And the ladder reached all the way from earth, all the way up to heaven. God was at the top of the ladder, and angels were ascending, going up, and descending, going down the ladder. And that's where my favorite verse comes into play. Genesis 28:13-15 we'll read now. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said to Jacob, I am the Lord your God, the God of Abraham, your father, the God of Isaac, and the land on which you lie, I will give you and your descendants. Also, your descendants shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south, and in you all your seed, all families of the earth, and in your seed all families of the earth shall be blessed. My favorite verse, behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you. And then I'll do bonus verse 16. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. Wow, he was reassured. And isn't that cool for us today? Even when we mess up again and again and again, and we feel like, can God forgive me? Can God love me? The answer is right here, and it's yes. He will always forgive us, and he will always, always love you so, so much. So he called that place Bethel, the house of God. And he actually made a promise to God that he would follow him, and included a promise that he would tithe as well in that. Finally, he arrived at Laban's home in Haran. And when he arrived, you can find the whole story in Genesis 29. And you want to check out our podcast too to learn more. That's Seed Pod for Kids. You can find it at www.startingwithjesus.com/seedpod. And you'll want to check out, because there's so many more details to the story that I don't have time to tell you today. So check it out. Anyway, he got there and he met the family, and he really took a liking to Rachel, the youngest daughter. So he asked Laban if he could marry Rachel. And Laban said, if you work for me 7 years, then you can marry Rachel. Wow, that's a long time to be engaged, right? But Jacob loved Rachel so much, it seemed like it went by so fast. Do you remember what happened then? That's right. When Jacob thought he was marrying Rachel, Laban tricked him. Can you think of someone who's tricked someone before? Interesting. Anyway, to marry Leah. And when he awoke in the morning and he found Leah, he said, what?